Hey guys, today is a very important day because I am running my half marathon today. As you can tell, it's still dark outside because it's 6 in the morning. I woke up at 5 in the morning, made myself a good breakfast, and headed out. To be honest with you guys, I've been feeling kind of sick lately. Ever since I got back from Europe, my nose has been running, I've been coughing and sneezing and stuff like that. So to be perfectly honest with you guys, I'm not as ready as I was hoping to be for this marathon. But, you know, obviously I'm still gonna do it. In fact, last night I was actually so anxious and so excited that I didn't actually get that much sleep. I know that today is gonna be a very significant day in my marathon training because it marks the halfway point. You know, I've been training for about 5 months now, and you know, doing the half marathon today, and 5 months from now I'll be doing my full marathon. So today is kind of a good day to see how everything works, see how a whole marathon works really, when they give me my number, and you know, trying to work on my pace and things like that. So I'm very excited about it. I'll let you guys know more as soon as I find out. Well guys, now it's 7 in the morning and we're here on the trail. I got all signed up, I'm ready to go. In about 15 minutes they're gonna meet up at the start line. I took a 5-hour energy, right, because I didn't get that much sleep last night, and then I took it, and like 5 minutes later I start getting all itchy, and I was like, there's a bunch of bugs here or what? And then I realized it wasn't really bugs, it was actually like, I don't know, I guess after you take a 5-hour energy, if you're not used to it, you start getting kind of itchy because like your blood starts pumping and stuff like that. I don't know, I'm just ready to go. I guess I'll talk to you guys after. I'm only a quarter of the way done. This is much harder than I thought. The thing is, I've been used to running on the street and stuff like that, but this is on a trail. There's hills, there's like tree roots that you have to watch out for. There's so much stuff, and man, like the little thoughts of doubt are starting to set in. You know, there's those little thoughts that say, can you really do this 3 more times? You know, and it's really difficult, but I really felt the need to give you guys an update because you guys are the ones that really keep me accountable and stuff. And you know, I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna do the other quarter. I'll be halfway done, and then I'll be able to continue. But I just want to give you guys an update. This is, I can tell, is going to be one of the hardest things I've ever done. So yeah, wish me luck. I'm going to go on the second quarter right now. And now I'm halfway there. Oh man, the cramps are really starting to kick in. I have a pretty bad cramp on my left leg, but you know, I'm halfway there. The first lap took me, the first lap is a 5K, so you do 4 5Ks. And the first one took me about 1 hour and 15. This one took me less than an hour, so that's good. Usually the first one's a little faster than the second one, but you know, I think all those the thoughts of doubt and you know, those things are kind of starting to go away. And now that I'm halfway there, I feel like I gotta go all the way. You know, I got a lot of people counting on me and stuff. So I'm halfway there. Well guys, as you can see, I got the medal. That is literally the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Oh my god, that was so intense. I literally, my left leg, I can't even feel it anymore. My left leg hurts so bad. Literally, when I would be running, I'd be jogging. I'd be jogging, and then you know, you're jogging, so you don't really notice it. And then the moment that you slow down to walk, that's when the pain really kicks in. So that was really tough. It took me almost 4 hours actually, which is kind of funny because a lot of people take 4 hours to do a full marathon, but you know, I didn't care about the time anymore. I just cared about finishing it, and you know, I'm proud of myself. Well guys, as you know, I finished the half marathon, but I just wanted to talk about a few of the things that are like kind of go through your head when you're doing that. Like I told you before, the trail is a 5K when you go around, so you got to go around 4 times. It's kind of funny the different stages that you go through as you're doing it. I remember the first lap, I would call it self-doubt. In the first half of that round, you're doing good, you know, this and that, and then you start realizing, oh my god, I can't believe I have to do 3 more of these after this. So that's when it really starts kicking in, and you start having these thoughts like, oh, am I going to be able to do it? I don't know if I can do it. Maybe I should just quit halfway through. And you get all these thoughts, and they're kind of scary. Some of them are I got to a point where I was having some sick and twisted thoughts, like, I hope I sprain my ankle, that way I have an excuse to stop, and crazy things like that. And you kind of surprise yourself because you think that you're capable of it and everything, and then it's just kind of like these thoughts just attack your mind, and you just, you know, you kind of freak out a little bit. The second stage, I would call it your confidence stage in a way. You know, the second lap you're going through and you're like, okay, you know what, I think I can do this. Like, this isn't that bad. I'm getting more used to it, things like that. And you're like, okay. And once you're about to finish that, you're like, I'm almost halfway there. So I think that stage is pretty important. Then the third stage I would call the pain stage. That's when the pain really starts kicking in, and you know, you start getting the cramps in your legs. You start thinking like, oh my god, how am I gonna do another one of these when you can barely walk? You know, like I told you before, if you're jogging and then once you stop jogging and you start walking, that's when the pain really kicks in, and the cramps just get unbearable. You know, it's funny because all these thoughts start going into your head around the third lap. You're trying to think of anything that will give you at least a little bit of hope. So it's kind of funny because those cliches that we hear over and over again in our lives that we barely pay attention to, those become so valuable at a time like this. You know, things like mind over matter, and you know, pain is just weakness leaving the body, and like all those like cheesy things that people say. You know, in these times you're almost convincing yourself of those, like trying to convince yourself, and you kind of start losing it. Like, you start having these conversations with yourself. You're trying to convince yourself that it's okay, you can do it, you can get through this. And I gotta tell you, when I first started running today, I realized that my iPod wasn't working, and I was like, oh my god, what happened? Turns out that I thought it was charging all night, but I guess my laptop messed up. Maybe it didn't pick up on the fact that it was connected or something, but my iPod didn't charge at all, so I didn't have any music to listen to this whole time. I was kind of upset about that at first, because I was like, how am I gonna get through this without listening to music? But by the time you finish your third lap, you know, you're at the point where you're like, you know, I've done this 3 times, I can do one more. The fourth lap, I would call it your motivation lap. At that point, you're really just plowing through the pain. Honestly, I'm gonna be in a coma the rest of the day because my legs hurt so bad. My left leg was hurting really bad. In fact, I was almost hoping that I could take some of that pain from my left leg and move it over to my right, because it was unbearable. I accomplished the goal that I set out to accomplish, and I'm proud of myself, and I know I'm so happy that I went through, and you know, and I know that my loved ones are gonna be proud of me and stuff. So the moral of the story is, you know, some things are going to be pretty tough. And like I said, this was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And I can't imagine doing the full marathon, but it kind of motivates me to keep training, because when that full marathon rolls around in 5 months, I want to be fully ready for that one. I don't want to be like this, where I had like a runny nose the whole time and I was coughing and stuff like that, and I barely got any sleep last night. You know, I definitely want to be 100% ready for the full one. Yeah, guys, I'm going to keep training, and next time I run, I'll try to run 15 miles. All right, see you guys later.